Tuesday. Welcome to another session of Tuesday Night Hockey. My name's Parker Kalmen. Get a little warm-ups going. Ooh. Get a little warm-ups going. Ooh. Oh, yeah, buddy. Nice shot.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
God bless me. I knew he was going to hit the pipes. Players don't realize that goalies know when it's hitting the post, so they let it. Don't discredit goalies when it hits the post. I don't do that to be hot. I do it because my hair covers my eyes. I do it to be hot. What happened? Too many tacos? Yeah. What kind? Doritos Locos? You're a Doritos Locos guy, aren't you?
I went for pastrami sandwich today.
Oh, that's not a good idea. You're tasting it, huh? I can smell it. Smells good though. What a play by the goalie. They say I can't use my stick. They say I'm bad at stick handling. Look at that. And I feel back in Chicago cause I feel it. A lot of people say I look like that guy. What do we think? Steve from Stranger Things? I don't see it either. Marking my territory. Good game, guys. Good game. Good game. Good game.
Episode of No Offsides podcast is brought to you by Champion Hockey. Be a champion. What's up, everybody? This episode is also brought to you by the US Roller Cup, a revolution in roller. Looking for your next tournament? Check out the US Roller Cup in Irvine, California from June 14th to the 16th, 2024. With divisions from club all the way up to men's and women's pro. Check out USRC in Irvine, California, June 14th through 16th, 2024. Join the revolution.
No offside.
And go.
Welcome back for another episode of No Offsides, where we talk roller hockey. Sponsored by Champion Hockey. I'm Dan Dean.
I'm Justin Wood.
Our guest today is the co-host of Hockey Night Insider, goalie for the South County Surfers, and Terrapins Hockey. Parker Kalmen, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me.
Oh yeah.
We showed a little clip of your Tuesday on the intro. A lot of your content's just hysterical. I have to ask, is it just kind of like you rambling or?
Oh man, I think it's evolved so much since we first started it. Obviously there's guys like Nick the goalie that have been doing the mic'd up stuff and starting our team, the Terrapins. Me and a buddy were like, dude, like the truth is we're not pro players. We're like mid-level players. We play with a bunch of good guys down in Irvine, and so the idea to get people like on our team was like, how do we do something that's like, attractive for people to want to join playing with the Terrapins? And that was kind of where it started, of just, let's go out and have a fun time and kind of show our personality off a little bit, and let's get mic'd up. And so, I started with like a $20 mic that I found on Amazon that was wireless, and it sounded like shit. And, like a GoPro 4. It was just all like old stuff, and just started doing it. And all those videos are on the Instagram if you guys wanted to go check those out. But it was a rough go at the start to kind of get things going. But, we got a couple good clips of, some good saves, couple good clips of, I think we took more the angle of, like self-deprecation of just all the goals that were getting scored on me, like nice. Posting those up and, really highlighting those. And, but yeah, it just kind of, sometimes it was like, all right, let's see what happens naturally. Let's just go in there and play a hockey game and see what happens. And then other times I'd have like a couple ideas that I would kind of roll onto the rink with. Let's like, maybe we talk to the ref this round. Maybe we, do a little dance that's popular on TikTok right now. Or,
Okay.
it's just evolved so much since then. But what really started to make it get a good role was when we moved up a division in Irvine. And for those who know, the Irvine rinks are, it's the Rolly Mecca, as I like to call it. It's, kind of the central hub of a lot of roller hockey has, gone down in Irvine. And I feel so blessed to be able to, have grown up playing there. And our team at the rinks, there's like a bronze, gold, silver divisions. And we have a Tuesday silver that we won 2 times. We won the division 2 times, and then we moved up a division to gold. And this gold division, it if you're on Tuesdays in Irvine, but this gold division, it's pro teams. It's like the Palma Golden Knights that we're playing against. It's a bunch of guys from the OC Blades. It's a bunch of guys, the Lot Dogs. If you know the Lot Dogs, they're a bunch of really good hockey players. So we moved up a division and expecting kind of like, oh, we're gonna hang with these guys. We just went undefeated. We won the division 1 shot below this, 2 times in a row. Of course, we're going to be able to hang with these guys. And then we joined this division and absolutely get smashed. and it was like while we were just getting absolutely, destroyed every single game, it was like I was having to make this content too. So it kind of like moved into this, like, let's just not make this serious. Let's not make this something that's like giving advice to people. I'm not showing people how to play. Like, let's just give kind of what's going on in my brain. And that's exactly what we did. We had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it. We have, a couple videos were kind of educational. It was talking about like, I have Scott Savage of the Palma Golden Knights, who's now playing for the US roller team. I was up against him one game, and he, everyone told me he's going blocker side, and sure enough, he went blocker side and he got me, And so I talked about that in the video, and it was really cool to be able to like do all these sort of different style videos, and to be honest, it got pretty exhausting, like, because there's this balance between like being a competitor and like someone who's going in there to like, I do want to compete and I do want my team to win, and someone who's going out there to, be goofy and be funny and like create content and make something that's gonna, pop off on, TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. So there's definitely like a balance to it, which I've been, kind of toying with lately. I've been kind of just making 1 video a week. And I haven't been doing them at tournaments that we play in. I've been really just focusing on, our Tuesday league that we play in. So we eventually, after 2 seasons of just losing to these teams, we held our own. We did well. We learned a lot. We did drop back down to 1 division lower, and then we won that division, which is, we're kind of like, there's some discrepancy here. There's got to be some sort of middle ground. But since then, it's been nice to like be in the division that we're in. I can kind of like relax a little bit. The teams aren't, as strong as they were in that other division, playing against the Skittles and Palma Golden Knights and all that. So yeah, it's just evolved, and I think it's done its job as far as getting people to play for the Terrapins. We now have a women's team that just played in the Irvine Regional, the Narch Irvine Regional, which was really a dream come true. I can talk about that more in a little bit, but also we have 2 men's teams. We're working on 3, working on starting a youth organization that people, have been like hitting me up constantly about, like, hey, when are you going to get youth teams? But yeah, I really think like our branding, those TikTok videos and Instagram videos that I've been making and have made it really cool to want to play for a team that's not a pro level hockey team. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you're the founder of that team, right?
Yeah. So me and my buddy Alex Bryant, we had been playing hockey since we were kids together. And then we kind of took a break for a long time, and Alex and I just kind of looked at each other. We're like, dude, like if we're going to jump back into it, like, let's do what we've always kind of wanted to do. Like, let's start a little organization. Let's get youth teams going. Like, let's spread this out and make it happen. So him and I started that up, and it's blossomed into something like we never even expected it to. So it's been a whole lot of fun.
I can say that the jerseys are clean for sure.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
I do love the jerseys. I love the colors.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much it's the color of your hat, and
Yeah, I got a little shirt right here. We're getting merch going.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I figured I'd rock some merch that we're dropping here soon.
That's sweet, man. Yeah, no, it's because going back to the videos, it's funny because you said like, yeah, the mic was shit, right, and everything like that. And I yesterday I went through them, a few of them, and I was watching them, and you have the ones where you're like, who's the toughest guy on the team? Who would you not want to fight? And you can tell like you're using that wireless mic, and you're like, oh, yeah. But then you get the newer ones. You're like, oh, this sounds much better.
Yeah.
But it's
Totally.
definitely interesting where you do your sideline interviews, and like people are kind of not wanting to say who they want to fight, but they're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll give you one. So. But no, there's definitely comical value there, and it's definitely enjoyable to watch.
It draws me in, I'll tell you that much. I think comedy is the best way to relate to people.
Yeah, for sure. I saw that there was kind of a hole. Like you don't really have that in roller hockey. It's just in order for the sport to grow, I think people got to get creative. I don't think that it's just going to be, from it gaining traction. It's just not going to gain traction out of nowhere. It's got to come from somewhere. And it, starts, with each individual if they want to see it grow. And, people that are really the movers and shakers of, roller hockey, got to get creative. We can't keep doing what we've been doing for, the last 25 plus years. We gotta kind of change it a little bit. And, that's just all I'm trying to do and what's in my power to see this sport grow a little bit more. And, I'm a believer that, when the tide goes up, like all the boats go up, it's every boat rises with the tide. And, if my team succeeds, and it's like, shout out to Stephen Campbell and Unify, who made those sick ass jerseys. We were absolutely blown away when Steven sent us those jerseys. Like we worked with them a couple different ways. I really wanted to get that shell pattern in there. That was like one of the biggest things I wanted to add, because it's roller hockey. It's not just a sweater and a logo right on the middle. Like we got to kind of add some, flavor to it, and adding those the shell pattern was a must. And just the way that it all came together was awesome. But also as far as like teams in my area, I got to give a big shout out to the OC Blades. The OC Blades have been around forever, since I was a kid. And like Skylar Hoare and Tanner Privia have both been someone that like people I've kind of gone to, especially Tanner, when kind of like building my organization with the Terrapins. And it's like, I see them every Sunday practicing with all 19 of their, youth teams. And they've always been people that have been really supportive. I've never felt threatened. I've never felt like I'm, because we're another team in the Irvine area that we're like stepping on toes or anything like that. I felt very welcomed in the roller hockey community as well. Same thing with like the Lot Dogs. That's another group that's out here in Southern California that have just been so welcoming to me. I play with a bunch of those guys on the elite draft league on Sunday, the Surfers. I'm the backup goalie. Ron Best is just an absolute stud in net. I think he's gone 6-0 this season. But he, they've just been so welcoming. Like everyone in the roller hockey community is welcoming. I've never felt any sort of like bad blood my way. I've never felt like anyone's like, who's this team coming through? We only started a couple years ago. Okay. In this place that's really established, as Irvine is. So it felt really good to be able to like kind of start this team. And right when we started it, Travis No, Team USA, Travis No, we just interviewed him on Hockey Night Insider last week. But another shout out. we reached out to him because they were doing an Ironman tournament. Palma was heading this Ironman tournament that was out of the Najar Arena, which is like this sick compound.
Sick.
I don't know if you've
Insane.
been
Yeah,
there.
oh, it's sick.
It's so incredible.
I've seen videos. I've seen the drone footage. Like, yeah, it is. Nothing is like it.
We didn't even have jerseys. We didn't even have jerseys yet as like our team. And we reached out to him and we're like, hey, we would love to play in this. And it was like, yeah, sure. Like, come on in. And it's like, this is like someone's house. Like, this is, the Najar's house. And this is like so exclusive. And it feels like like all of us were kind of looking at each other, like hanging with the cool kids of roller hockey in Southern California and just feeling so cool. Like, it's just been, I've never felt like this has been a bad idea. Like, I've always felt very welcomed in the roller hockey community, and people have, like, in fact, in turn wanted to help me and help, see us grow and see the Terrapins thrive. And it's just been a really cool thing to be a part of. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I do want to touch up on that you've been talking about.
Yeah.
But, you talked about being exhausted for making these videos from time to time, right? And I thought you were going to say like the editing aspect, right? And so, like, I mean, how much time do you typically spend like uploading and editing in the background?
Yeah, so there's definitely been videos that I've full like prepared, got all my gear, gone to the rink, all my shooting gear, everything. I bring a backpack with me of all the stuff that I got to put the GoPro up. I got to put the mics in. I got to get everything charged beforehand, which I've forgotten to do plenty of times. But it's like I've prepared to do all this stuff, and I've gone to the rink and filmed like a full hour of hockey, and I didn't make any videos from it. Like, nothing has come from it. Nothing felt inspiring. I was just like, all right, well, that was just a complete wash. Like, nothing interesting happened that I would want to watch. So there's definitely been those times, and also that I've been like so exhausted. It's like, man, like, I don't have time to, make a video out of this. But on the flip side, there's also been those times where I've gotten, footage from a game, and I get home at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just like on my phone, just like editing the whole thing, because I'm just so like, this was hilarious when this happened, and this was so awesome when this happened, and this happened. Like, there was so many things in the game, and I had like an idea of like a song that I want to put to this video or like something. So there's been those opposite where it's just like, I'm jazzed about, editing the video, and I can't wait to, post this tomorrow morning. And it's like, and I feel like most of the time it's in between those two things. Most of the time it's kind of like, if I have a good idea and I really want to there's one video, you got to go kind of back in the videos, but it was like, I saw this Fortnite edit video on TikTok, and it was like all these ridiculous like memes. And it was just so like ridiculous and nonstop. You guys seen like those videos where it's just like one thing happens and then they just drop a meme. Like,
yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to like go for it here. I'm going to full send like just a crazy ass like meme video and just see what happens. And I probably spent like 2-3 hours on this, and it did not perform like I wanted it to. Like, it did not come across to the audience like I was hoping. I was like, man, this is it. Like, the whole time I'm making it, this is for sure going to pop off. And it just didn't. And so it's a lot about just experimenting and seeing what kind of works and what doesn't. But yeah, man, there's definitely been times where I've had to like slow down and be like, all right, let's get back to basics. Like let's just get what we like to do. Let's get a little highlight video of the game. The funny things that happened. Let's chop it up and make it clever and make it you. So yeah, that's kind of the like roller coaster of what it's been like, editing those videos too. And it's kind of just me, it's Alex, I love him. But he just had a baby. This is kind of my partner with the Terrapins. He just had a baby with his wife, Charlotte, who were like, they're my best friends. That's my goddaughter. and he basically is to the point where he's just playing, like he's just playing hockey with us, and he's the captain of our team. And so everything else lately has just kind of been on my back. And I gotta say, like, it is so exhausting. Like it's so exhausting. And like, I'm pretty grateful when I'm able to like sit down and have that time to like make a cool video. When other stuff isn't going on, like getting rosters together, getting, uniforms together. I was just yesterday, as a matter of fact, like cleaning, 24 different jerseys in my washer and hanging them all up in my garage, because I just got a full set. And it's just like stuff like that is not very fun.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part is probably like posting a really good video. Like that's probably my favorite part about this whole thing, is getting something that's really marketable out there for people to enjoy. So
it's definitely, I mean, I don't feel the pain directly, but I feel the exhaustion through Justin when we're like, hey, we want to put out some videos for our league or something like that. And I'm like, we could do this, we can do that. And then I'm like, you know what, Justin, do as much as you feel you can do. And I don't want to burn you out.
Yeah. He'll be like, do you think we can do this? And I'll be like, maybe in a month.
Yes.
Because I mean, I'll mess around with Photoshop a little bit, but I haven't edited since I was like 18. So it's not really my realm. Justin's got me back into doing some Photoshop stuff, and him and I do a lot of the media content for our league. And so we understand what the man hours that go into like trying to build up what your platform or your brand, right? And so because like we've seen the results of it as well, where now like our league used to be 60 players at most, and now we're at 166 with a waiting list because we don't have enough rink time. That's right. So awesome. And so Justin and I are like trying to play, ref, crank out content, and it's like now I'm like, all right, I gotta go home, got an hour in between what I need to do. Let me see if I can complete the standings for this division real quick. And I'm like, holy crap, I've never been so busy.
Yep. And then on top of that, we must like punishment because the three of us are like, hey, let's do a podcast too.
Yeah.
And then that happened. Yeah, same thing happened with me. Like I'm doing this whole thing, and then I get approached by my boy Steven, who produces, Hockey Night Insider, and he's like, hey, like we feel like you would be great for this podcast. Agreed. And I'm like, man. And I just jumped right in, and it was kind of like, all right, like let's just say yes and see where this goes. And it's been awesome. So, Hockey Night Insider is just, it's been an absolute blessing. That was kind of just dropped in my lap. I've always sort of been someone that like, I'm the one kind of making it happen, or I'm the one creating it. I'm sure you guys can relate to that with, starting this podcast. But this was something that was like, you know what, like someone reached out to me and wants me to get involved in something. So it was nice to kind of take a back seat and, give my input when needed. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun as well. But yeah, I feel you guys. It's nice knowing at least, on the other side of the United States, this is going on too. So
yeah.
Yeah, and we're attacking from the coast and moving in.
Exactly. Meet you in like Oklahoma or something like that.
Yeah.
Sounds good. What was it like getting started with Hockey Night Insider?
It was. I mean, like I said, it just kind of fell in my lap. It was something where I was playing in the EDL, the Elite Draft League here in Irvine, which also has just tons and tons of good players, which I felt, happy to even be drafted. And this is my second season with them. And there was someone that was doing, it was my boy Steve was doing all this, this production for him. And he kind of approached me and was like, hey, like, I know you make your videos. I think they're super awesome. I think I got interviewed. It was like after the tryout, they did like an interview, and they asked me a couple questions, and I was like, yeah, the EDL is awesome, and kind of gave a whole spiel. And then after that, they were like, hey, maybe we should get this guy, involved in this podcast. And and if you guys know Nick Gismondi, Gizmo, works with, NHL on the fly. He's always on the NHL network. And so when I kind of heard that he was going to be on there, I was like, whoa, like this is, I can't pass this up. You know, this is something that can be really good, both for like myself and my kind of, I don't really have like career goals with hockey. Like I'm not trying to be like, you know, Swaggy P or Nick the goalie or Nasher or anything like that. Like I'm not really like gunning for that. I have a career, but it's definitely something that like I would love to see where it goes. And that's how I felt. It was like, I want to see where this goes. Let's say yes. Let's show up, you know, when they ask me to show up and be there, and do our best and give your best at it. And let's just see where it goes. And, you know, I think we're, you know, four episodes in and it's gone great. Like, I feel like it's been just a really positive, you know, way to talk to people about roller hockey. We do it a little bit different, you know, than you guys. We do like quick 15-minute segments where it's really like, you know, some, you know, go on a little too long, I feel, but even with those 15 minutes, but some are like, man, I could have talked to him for another hour.
Yeah.
But it's good because I really got to like think about the questions that I'm asking, especially since it's, you know, me and Gizmo are both asking questions in that 15 minutes. So I really got to be like intentional about, okay, what are we going to talk about? You know, with Travis No today, for example, that was one I was like, I could have gone another hour and just chatted with Travis about, you know, a bunch of hockey stuff, but we got some good questions with him and it was really awesome. Speaking with him, every time I see him around, he's just a really positive dude. So, yeah, it's been going really great, man. And I'm excited to see, you know, where it goes. Where it continues to, you know, how it evolves. If other people, you know, we are looking for, you know, people to work with as far as sponsors are concerned and seeing if, you know, we can get some sponsors who might have another twist on how we can do things and how we can amplify this and make it better and better and better. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. And it's been an absolute blast to be a part of. And like even considered for that is something cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely, you know, we're kind of doing the same thing here, right? We're just like, let's see where this goes. Like, we lined up a bunch of people in the roller hockey community from all different aspects, whether it's business or playing or, you know, content wise, right? And it's a blast, right? You just get to talk, and you talked about how like I can go on for another hour, you know, talking, and our podcast run like an hour to an hour and a half, and some people were like, we go on for almost 2 hours and we're like, holy crap. And then it's just like, Justin and I are like, we're hungry.
Usually it's late for you guys. Yeah. It's getting late over there on the East Coast. I'm lucky it's 4:00 here. Yeah. So
we're like, we're hungry. And we're like, man, we're approaching the hour 45. And Justin will shoot a text. We're like, hey, you think we can like segue to like wrapping this up? I'm like, I think we can do that.
When you can start hearing my stomach on the mic, I know it's a problem.
I won't take you 2 hours. Don't worry. No, I'm hungry too.
It's all good. I hope Justin ate before he came on today. So
I did.
But yeah, I mean, you're talking SoCal hockey. You're talking elite draft league, right? I mean, when you got drafted into the elite draft league, right? I mean, you're up there with some of the best. Right. You know, what have you said you've been in there for 2 seasons. Have you been able to play a game? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So
how's that gone?
So me and last season, I didn't get drafted the first time I tried out for it. I didn't get drafted last season. I also had people like walking up to me like, what is that jersey? Like, cause we like just printed our Terrapins jerseys and they're like, what's this team? Like, Matt Hahn actually came up to me. He's kind of like the lot dog leader. Yeah. And he came up to me and asked me about it. I was like, oh, like it's the Terrapins. Like, you know, we're just a team. And I got like, I played at the tryout. No one really knew who I was and I didn't get drafted. And I was so bummed. I was so bummed. It's funny looking back on this now. And I was so bummed about it. And then I got an email like a week after the draft results came out. They were like, hey, like we have an injury on this team. Like, would you be interested in being, you know, the backup goalie? And I was like through the moon. I was like, awesome. Like, this is sick. And it was the Santa Ana Breeze that I was playing for, which was Hayden Maxwell, Luke Benevente, Skylar Hoare, John Seamer. And I was like, okay, like, let's do it. Like, and I was talking to my buddy. I've told this story a couple times. I'm going to tell it just cause it's funny as fuck. I was getting back into roller hockey. And I was with my buddy Alex, and we were watching, I think this was Winter Nationals like 2 years ago. And I was just starting to play again, but I didn't know much about what was going on, like with the pro scene or anything like that. It was kind of like, to me, it was like, roller hockey, like, has a pro scene. Like, what does that even like look like? And, we go to Winter Nationals, we like get a spot. It's like surrounded the rink, and everyone's watching Black Ice go up against Palma. And my buddy Alex, he's like looking over. He's like, whoa, John's here. That's awesome. I thought he wasn't playing. And I ragged on him so hard. I was like, dude, you know their names? Like, I was like, you know their names? Like, what? Like, this is just roller hockey. Like, what are you talking about? And like, I just kind of ragged on him and watched the game. And of course it was sick matchup, like totally dope. Oh, yeah. Like, they just played so well. And like, fast forward like a year, and I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, John's playing tonight. Like, Travis Noah's here. Junior Cadiz is here. Eton's playing. Like, I know like the goalie names. Like, I got everything like listed out. And like, not long after that, like, I start on a team, and I'm playing with like John Seamer. And it's like, I'm playing with the guy that my buddy was like talking about. Now I'm like on his team, and I just thought it was so cool. And also I think it was like the perfect team to also get on starting the Terrapins, because it was like Skylar Hoare runs the OC Blades. And so also I can kind of see how he ran a team like with the Breeze. Like, he was kind of the captain of the team, and he was like sending out, you know, the texts and everything like that. He was sending out like player of the game, like the 3 stars of the game after every game that we played. And what was cool was I definitely did get a shot at playing. Luke Benevente is the OC Blades goalie. And he, even though I'm like much older than him, he like took me under his wing and like kind of showed me the ropes. And it was awesome, you know, being able to play against really high caliber players. That was kind of at the same time we moved up into the division, and we were playing against them regularly. So I got to see more shots against those kind of guys. And then this year, like, I did get drafted to the Surfers, and me and Ron split. So I played 8 games, he played 8 games, and it was and it's been a lot of fun being able to like be part of a team where it's like, I feel like I'm a little bit, you know, I'm not just the backup when someone can't be there.
Yeah.
It's more like, I'm like, you know, I get my split. I get half the games, he gets half the games. And I feel like I've played pretty well. I know there's like a lot of room for improvement in my game. I mean, any goalie will say like they're probably as, you know, hardest on themselves. You know, I've really had to work on that part where it's like a goal goes in, like, and shake it off, and I have to keep moving on. And I feel like that's been kind of my strongest part of my game, is I've been really able to kind of focus up and like let go of what's happened in the past, and then be able to like get my team back in the game. And I think like, as far as being a goalie is concerned, I think like if I kept my team in the game, like, I did my job. As long as I just keep my team like in it, in striking distance, even if I have a shit game, you know, and my team keeps scoring, and the other goalie's having a shit game too, as long as like we're both kind of, you know, we're in this game, we have a chance to win. I see that as like, that's me doing my job. Now I could also go above and beyond, you know, which is a little harder in those higher leagues that I play in. But yeah, it's been an absolute blast playing against those guys. And I continue to learn every time. Like, and it's also, we play in the silver division, or like the AB division. And it's like in baseball where they have like a weight on their bat. when they go out and they're kind of swinging in the on deck circle. I feel like when I'm playing against these teams, it's kind of like a wait. And then I, come back to the division that we're in, and it feels a little bit more like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I feel a little stronger. I feel we face this stuff, but also this might just be making excuses here, but I also feel like I like lower level players, like like higher level players, you kind of know what they're going to do. They're going to pick the corners.
Yeah.
They're going to go backdoor. If there's a guy open backdoor, they're going to pass it. Like you kind of start to pick up on what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like playing at that level more, because when I go back to kind of like playing at the lower levels, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, I don't know if
change-ups.
Exactly, man. Like they could, I had this one guy at the last tournament we played in, man. He was coming in on a breakaway, and he completely whiffed on it. And like I sprawled out because like I thought he was gonna, and it wasn't like him doing the the like purposeful. No, he wasn't doing that. He actually whiffed on it, and it went in. And it's like, dude, I can't predict these guys sometimes. And that might be me making excuses.
No, I don't think so.
No, because I just got done playing, and I don't usually not a regular goalie, right? So I played in tournament this weekend goalie, and I also played out. And so I came out and challenged a shot, and I was like, boom, right in my stance, right? And next you know, I just saw it flutter past me and go posting in far side, and I was like, wow, I was not expecting that.
100%.
I was like, what the heck? But then you have the other aspect too, right? Where you're like, all right, probably every goal that's going to get scored on you in this elite draft league is going to be a snipe, right? So
yeah, for the most part, I feel like in these higher level leagues, it's almost like who is the most selfless player? Like who's the least selfish? Like they're passing and passing and passing and passing and passing, and they have an open shot. Like these guys have an open shot, and Kyle Mooney is someone who does this a lot with Palma. He formerly Black Ice. He is someone who just, and he was in our league in the gold division on Tuesdays in Irvine, and he was someone who like he had the open shot, but he would pass and pass and pass and pass, like just to work on passing with his team, and that sucks for a goalie. Like, cause I'm like one side, I'm on the other side. My defense is getting chopped up, and it ends up, being of course a goal, but it's mostly snipes because they know exactly where to place it. So,
I mean,
or those like little backdoor tips.
I got tipped on my last game. Yeah, it was a heartbreaker.
They love those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or between the leg tips too. Like they're cutting across the crease, and they just perfectly like tap it right between your legs as I'm like sprawling over. They just know how to do it. So, I am 5 for 6 on shootouts.
Okay.
Shootout like breakaways. We've had 2 shootouts against me, and I'm 5 for 6 on stopping guys. Like Hayden Maxwell, nice. I stopped him. PJ Kavaya last game that we had, I was pretty pumped. I was like, dude, you just stopped PJ Kavaya. Like that's
hey,
awesome.
I mean, if you're going to a shootout, you gotta be doing pretty damn well.
Yeah. No, I think I hold my own. I wouldn't say like I wouldn't say I'm like at an elite level yet. I wouldn't say, but I definitely think that I hold my own, and I'm getting better and better each time I go out there, which is always my goal. So.
Yeah, I mean, now you talked about your competition, right? People were shooting on you. I mean, who would you? I don't know. Let's top 3, top 5 that like most dangerous shooters that you face.
I gotta put Scott Savage on that list. I know he's going blocker side, and he still gets me. He scored on me a few different times. I think Kyle Mooney. He's just a dangerous player. He's a quarterback. He goes out there and like he's holding the puck, and he's like telling guys exactly what to do. He's pushing guy. He's just passing nonstop. And then when he does get the puck and he does make a shot, like it's going in. And then I gotta throw Eton in there as well. Eton Chavera, with Dangle Dojo and with the Palma Golden Knights. He's just lethal, man. Like he knows exactly, like if he he's a guy who like he doesn't think. Like he's not thinking when he's out there. Like he just knows instinctually exactly what to do. So if he's going in for a breakaway and he sees that glove side's open, he's gonna snipe it.
Yeah.
Like, or if he's going in and he sees he's got nothing, like he's gonna move you around to find something that opens up. And yeah, it's just crazy to play against something like that because it's so fast. It's so fast and so instinctual. So I got to say those three guys right there, just off the top of my head. I'm sure if I, thought a little harder about it, I could, figure some other guys. But I will say, okay, I got to give a shout out to there's this guy, Ruslan Patterson, and he plays like platinum level hockey, gold platinum level hockey, right below pro level for the Lot Dogs. And I play this guy on my Sunday morning league, on my Sunday night league, on my Tuesday league, when I'm subbing any other night. Like he's at the rink all the time playing hockey. And I don't think there's anyone in the world that has scored more goals on me than Ruslan. And he's like, he has scored so many times. And luckily, he's one of the guys on the South County Surfers. So he's my teammate now, which is really great. It's really great that Ruslan is on my team now, because that dude, I swear, every league that we play in against each other, he just absolutely owns me. So, so yeah.
I did enjoy, you had the one video where I guess the guy dragged it around you and then put it in. And then you were like, oh, he's coming down. He's going to do it again. And then you stuck your leg out and it went through a hole, like maybe like even like this big. And you're like, I almost got that one.
I think that was against Steven Verstegen, who's on the black ice. I'm pretty sure that's who that was against. But yeah, man, like some of these guys, dude, they just know exactly what to do. So yeah, I got to learn. I got to be one step ahead.
What do you think's harder? Oh, go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna say, and the only way you can learn too, right, is by playing against this top quality competition. Like getting a shot and playing in the elite draft league is, has to be a great accomplishment as a goalie in roller hockey. I mean, because there's nothing but studs there.
I feel really blessed to, like I said, to just be in Irvine. Just be here at any time. If you show up on a Sunday, there's a bunch of good guys just with stick time playing at the rinks. Just I'm always able to get good practice. Our Terrapins team, we play mostly Narch tourneys. I love how Narch does it. Narch has a lot of stuff down here in Southern California, and I just love what Darren does. I've been playing Narch tourneys since I was a kid, and we've played at the silver level since we started, and we came in like second for bronze, but our past like 5 tournaments, we've all qualified. It kind of drops down into like a bronze and then a copper bracket. We've qualified in the top grouping for silver, like every single tournament. And we lost in the semis 4 different times. And last tournament, we lost in the quarterfinals. And it's like, we believe that like, in order for us to move up to gold, or to move up to AA or whatever it is, at these other tournaments, in order for us to move up to the next level, like we have to win. Like we've just always kind of had that like mindset. We see a bunch of teams that don't win these tourneys and are just going straight into gold and then kind of getting spanked. But we feel like we're a gold level team. We feel like we can go up to the next level. But it's just, we just want to win. Like we just believe that it's up to us to kind of prove that. Let's get a win under our belt in this division before we're like moving up to the next level. So hopefully this Narch finals, that will be the time where, we win. I don't want to like jinx it, but
we've had some luck. We've had some luck with people who've come on the show have won their next tournament. So, okay,
I'll take it. I'll take any luck that I could get. So come July, we'll look back at this and say, this was the catalyst.
We'll take all the credit you want to give us.
Absolutely.
I was going to ask before, though, as a goalie, with your personal style, do you have more trouble with guys who have filthy hands or guys who are just snipers?
I'll take the outside shot over like anything. Nothing pleases me more than like just robbing someone with my glove. Like that is just my favorite feeling in the world. Like, I'm pretty good at going post to post and like getting the back door, on a 2-on-1. I'm pretty good at, getting my leg over and getting a pad on the guy. Which are great. Like, oh, great save. But I feel like I would prefer an outside shot, glove side, like all day. Like I could take those forever. Even when practicing, like, I'm just like, dude, if I could just get glove sides. Blocker, I'm not so hot with. I know how to get there. It's just not as satisfying. Like it's not as satisfying, but, so I think I would rather have someone. It's when people are coming in and getting kind of the dirty goals, just kind of like the grindy, like, let's just hit at that puck and try to find a hole. Those suck, man. Like those suck. Yeah. It's also,
those don't feel good for anybody.
Yeah.
Even the guy who scores.
Just goals in general just don't feel good for goalies.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the people who don't score aren't feeling good about the dirty ones. So I think I'd rather take an outside shot than someone coming in with the quick hands any day.
Yeah. I mean, my kryptonite, I played in goal this last season for our spring league, and my kryptonite was, soft flutter shots that the wind, because we put outside on asphalt. And so 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts happened as the shot was coming, and shot was going wide, and it curved into the net. So
heartbreaker.
Yeah. So I was like, I was square to the shooter shot. I was like, all right, it's going wide. And as I just threw my blocker out, they're like, it's going. And then I was like, oh no, it went in the net.
I don't think I hate anything more than 5-hole. Like I've been working a lot on 5-hole. Like, and there was a period where nothing went in between my legs for like a good chunk of time. It was like, man, you've like really learned how to like stop everything that's going 5-hole. And this last tournament that we played in, it was like I had like 3 in one game, and I was just like, dang. I was just so bummed. I'm like, man, it's also I love blaming things. My stick broke. You saw in that video Tuesday. That was my stick, and it broke. So I went back to my old one, which is like an inch shorter. And so it's like on the paddle. And so I've been using this smaller stick. I got to get a new one, but I've been using this smaller stick that I had been using for a long time previously. And I was like, it should be fine. And there was, it wasn't fine. So I think I gotta, get my ass to the nearest hockey shop and try to find a good deal. So
what's your preferred stick?
I've always used Brian's gear. I don't really care about the stick. Honestly, I'm kind of like, I'm a PE teacher. We talked about this earlier, Dan. I'm a PE teacher, and it's like, I don't make like a ton of money. So I can't and honestly, a lot of the money that I spend like goes back into the Terrapins. Like it doesn't really go like into my own gear and stuff. But stick wise, I've always used Warriors. But I think if I were my next stick will probably be a Bauer. I'm probably going to get it like a Bauer Supreme or a Hyperlight, just to have something that like isn't going to break on me. Something that's going to be, sturdy and reliable and stuff. But stick, to be honest, don't really have a preference. But since I was a kid, I used Brian's glove and blocker. I've just always loved the feel of my Brian's glove and blocker. And I've gone to stores and I've tried other stuff out, it feels good and stuff, like all the new stuff that Bauer's been pushing out, all the true stuff. But man, I don't know. I'm kind of loyal when it comes to my Brian's glove and blocker. My pads, I have Brian's pads as well. I would like something a little lighter. I think they're pretty old, and they're pretty heavy. And dude, I mean, after I came back to playing hockey, I took like an 8-year hiatus from playing hockey. This was like after high school, when college kind of started. Like I took a long time off, and then really got back into it and like dove head first. And I started going to these hockey shops, and I was picking up these pads, and I couldn't believe how light they were.
Oh yeah.
it was insane just how like I can lift it with a finger. Like it was it was just so light. And I would love to get me a pair of Bowers, like a pair of Bauer Supreme or Hyperlights, or that would just be awesome.
It's time to
work with that.
As I say, it's time to spend your salary and get a custom pair with Terrapins color.
I did you see the All-Star game last year? You guys can pull that up when you have time. It was like I think it was in Florida, but they had like the pink and the teal color. Yeah. That was like the color scheme. And the goalies all had like teal pads like this. And I was like so sold. I was like, how do I get my hands on something like that? But yeah, I definitely would love to get a set of, pads that matched what we're rocking. So a little tidbit. I don't like that I'm sharing this, but I started, so I'm going to share it anyway. The Terrapins colors were just Kraken colors.
Okay.
Well,
it's just the Kraken. Yeah. So that's kind of like that. That was the idea.
Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, they're complementary colors to each other, right? And they look sick, but it all comes down to your design, though, right?
We even got the eye like of the Kraken. I was like, let's make the eye red too. Like we got to get a little eye in there as well. But it works. Yeah, we made it our own. Like we added all the shell patterns and the logo. Obviously, we really made it our own. So, but yeah, with that being said,
I wouldn't worry. There's only
I'm not stressing about it. I didn't want to show that we just bid off the Kraken, but the Ducks do like a big sale of all their gear every year. What's your guys' hockey team? Do you guys have like a nearest hockey team that you guys are all fans of?
Well, I'm a transplant, but the nearest one is the Canes.
Okay,
I'm a Red Wings guy.
Red Wings and Canes. So do the Canes have like a sale they do every year? Like, do they sell their gear at the end of the season? And
I think so, because I think a lot of teams do that, even the minor teams. But it's just a matter of finding out when.
So I've just wanted to get my hands on a Kraken set of pads. Yeah, like that's really what I've wanted to do, is just like, instead of customizing it and spending all this money, like get some used Kraken pads of, pro Kraken pads. That would be so sick. So I actually have a John Gibson chest protector that I have never used. Just sitting, like I bought it because I was like, it was like the only goalie thing they had left. And then I used it and I was like, this is the same exact like chest protector that I already have. So,
heck yeah. Well, let's cut this clip and then we'll tag the Kraken in it.
Yes.
When you post it, and they can just save you the pads.
That would be fantastic.
There you go.
Awesome.
That's what we'll go for.
Come on, Seattle Kraken. I need you. I need you.
And let's also get him a stick sponsor.
Yeah, that would be great too. Anyone out there? Send me an email. We'll talk.
All right. But yeah, I mean, so you're doing content. You're playing in this elite draft league, right? You're in one of the meccas of roller hockey. And you get to, there's video out there of you messing around with Swaggy P, right? You're talking, hey, we need to do something different, lighten it up a bit. And, you bring comedy into your videos where other people are doing tricks and flips and stuff like that. But, you kind of merged together and you got to play with Swaggy P. So how was that?
That was like completely unexpected. That kind of came out of left field for me. I had been following Swaggy for a long time, and I knew that he had some like connection with a bunch of the Palma Golden Knights guys down here in Southern California. And when Eton reached out to me a couple times to come out to the Dangle Dojo, and that was awesome. That was like, like Eton, I'm like even on his radar at all. And when I got there, he's like, dude, like you're the content guy of roller hockey right now. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? And then me and him have had like a good back and forth. And I knew the Swaggy P thing was happening. And Eton hit me up like a day before. He's like, dude, come play goalie. And I'm like, I'm there. Like, I'll see you there. And just, I think what Swaggy P does so well is he played. There was kids like lined out the door of the Dangle Dojo just to like go have a chance to just see this guy. and he was playing with these kids. He was like dangling all around them and like kind of have it like a one-on-one shot. They did like, you know, anyone can play against Swaggy P kind of thing. And he was playing with them, and like Eton was like, all right, let's get things going. Cause they were going to do like their one-on-one Eton versus Swaggy P. And Swaggy P was like, no, a few more. Like he just wanted to keep playing with the kids, man.
Yeah.
And it was just like, to see that was just so awesome. Like this guy who obviously has a huge following in not just the roller hockey world, but the hockey world. Like he's at every major NHL event. You know, to be here playing roller hockey with all these kids, and like he's, you know, he's pushing it. Like he's asking to play with them more like than he's even supposed to. And then to go like against him. Oh, so great. And then to go against him, like to be in net kind of against him and be able to see those hands. And dude, it's no joke. Like I know like you're looking at it online, even when it was happening, I was kind of like, man, that's crazy. But I'm sure it took him like 40 takes to, you know, get this crazy like air toe, you know, drag out of the air. And it's like playing against, like he was doing things like that live right in front of me, like being able to just pick it up and chuck it behind his back and get it in the net. And it was insane to see. Wow. And then it was also awesome to see like Eton going up against him too. So someone like that I've played against that I can reference, go against him. And it was neck and neck the entire time. Like it was just a really entertaining event. Amazing to be a part of that. And kind of face those guys too. I got a couple good glove saves on him, which was awesome. That felt nice. Got some like whoas from the crowd. That felt really good. Didn't get embarrassed. That was kind of like, that was kind of like, you know, let's just not get embarrassed, Parker. So yes, it was awesome playing with Swaggy P and getting that video too was incredible. So
that's so cool to be able to get like, that's something we always talk about on the show is, you know, roller is a small community. And when we get guys like all you three together, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was even to be lumped in that conversation feels just incredible. So
yeah, but like Eton said, you're now, as much as you don't want to consider yourself it, but you're a social media guy, right? All your videos, as much as you're just like, I'm just doing it for fun, you've made a social media impact, right? People know who the Terrapins are. People know who you are just because of your short little video clips. And so you've kind of, without even trying, now you get mentions through doing that.
Yeah. It's, you know, we're going to keep things going. I'm going to keep pumping out the videos. I'm going to keep, you know, getting our Terrapins growing as much as we possibly can. Really excited for Narch finals this year. This is some new information that came my way today. I might be playing at the Wish Cup, not with the Terrapins. Sweet. Not with the Terrapins, with another team. I got the Lebeda Chupacabra reached out to me and
nice.
They're really good dudes from out in Texas. We had some like mutual friends and we connected and we've played them a couple times. We beat them. We beat them in Narch finals last year in the playoffs, overtime goal. It was an awesome game. And then they won Winter Nationals this year. So it was cool to see like a team that we beat go on and win the division that we're in. Okay. It kind of gives us like, okay, like maybe we can do this. So yeah, just a really good group of dudes. So I'm hoping to be at the Wish Cup this year and would love to get some awesome content went out there as well. So
you know what division you're playing in?
AB. We'd be in AB. Lebeda Chupacabra.
Then you know I might be able to get to play against you then.
All right, cool. So
that'd be sweet.
What team are you playing with out there? Let me.
So I run the Asheville Aces.
Okay.
So yeah, we've done it for the past couple of years. It's a lot of fun.
All right.
So yeah,
and I hate to spoil this, but it's just Whalers colors.
I'm seeing that now.
Yeah, I mean,
now I know you guys were so easy on me. You guys were so easy on me with the Kraken.
It's just Whalers colors. You know, it's like, hey, we're from North Carolina. Well, we live in North Carolina, right? And it's like, you know, red and black is normal. Like, everyone uses red and black. It's like Whalers colors.
Use red and black.
There you go.
So, you know, but yeah, I just want to. So, like last year, we we lost to friggin' Nasher in overtime in the playoffs, and
The Columbus Heat.
Yeah, and so as much as he did give us a shout out on our jerseys, but I need revenge, and we've been trying to spark up some commenting and the Wish Cup stuff, but he seems like too busy of a guy to comment back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean,
he's trying to get a gang beef going. It's
not
working.
He's got that whole rink he's building out there in Ohio.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's like a dream.
Oh
like
yeah.
If I were to be able to open up my own rink and like my own shop or something like that, that would just be the dream. But I'm not.
You might have to move out of California to do that.
Yeah. I don't think that's happening out here. So
yeah. But yeah, I mean, so before we came on, we were talking kind of something you did over the weekend, right? And because I mentioned like Anaheim Ducks, they still have their foot in like all hockey, roller hockey, ice hockey. I mean, how is that just from the aspect of playing and being a part of that community?
So my first birthday, my first birthday was the Ducks inaugural game. So October 8th, 1993. I'm a 92. So their first game was my first birthday present. So the Ducks were my first birthday present. In case you didn't know. So I've always had this like special connection with the Ducks. Like I just grew up like religiously following them. I remember I had like a bunk bed when I was a kid, and like I drew and colored like every NHL logo and like put it up on like my bunk bed. And like there was a point in time like I could name every goalie and every backup goalie in the NHL. I could not do it now. But it was like I was like religiously into hockey, and to grow up a Ducks fan, in an area that's like dominated by the Kings. Like I was kind of always getting, all my friends were kind of Kings fans because like their dads or whatever were Kings fans before the Ducks got there. So it was amazing, man. Like they flipped the script on like, beginning like the shows before the game were incredible, and like really getting the kids involved with being, owned by Disney. It was so much fun. And to grow up also and see all these rinks around the area that were struggling. Like there were so many struggling rinks, and the Ducks came and like helped them out and like bought them and kind of took over the rinks. And when the Samuelis took over owning the Ducks, like they really like poured money into the community, and not just like hockey either, like also doing things like foster children, like helping a bunch of the foster youth in the area. So I'm a PE teacher now. There was a point in time where I was a substitute teacher, and I had a contract with Samueli Academy, which is Henry and Susan Samueli's school in Santa Ana. And I would sub there. And they had a dorm on campus for foster youth that didn't have, and it was completely free. Like everything was free. It was a charter school. And it was so much money that was just poured into that school. And then on top of that, in hockey as well. And the event that happened this weekend, and shout out to Greg Hughes. He's a guy who plays with Kyle Mooney on one of the teams on Tuesday nights. He's so fucking good. Greg Hughes, I want to say he's the assistant of like fan outreach for the Ducks. And they put on this event called the Score Shootout. It's for all fourth graders. And their schools, if they wanted to start like a street hockey team, they can do that and sign up. And my school that I'm the PE teacher for, I coached our fourth graders, and we went there on Saturday. It's right outside of Honda Center. It's right in the parking lot. And we played a bunch of different other schools. I think there's 20 different schools that show up to this thing. They do like 2 10-minute periods of playing street hockey. And my school's small. We only have about 30 fourth graders inside my school. So it was like we were begging to get like kids just to play. And none of them have hockey experience. And we practiced for the past 2 months, like 3 times a week at school during PE, after school. And And we didn't win a game,
Uh,
but we had so much fun. I got to like introduce all these kids to hockey. And by the end of it, they were like loving it.
Good.
They were a little bummed they lost, but they absolutely had such a great time. And like all the other schools had a great time, and Wild Wing was there, and they all got pictures with Wild Wing, and Chick-fil-A sponsored the event and gave out free food. And it was just such a blast. And like, you know, I feel really, really, like I love the Anaheim Ducks, like as my hockey team, but also like I love the Anaheim Ducks for just like who the owners are and how everything kind of trickles down, because they really do seem to care. Obviously they haven't played very well in the last few years, which I would like to see kind of change. We got a good young core. We kind of got the shit end of the stick on Nab and Bedard, but hey, it's all right. We got Leo Carlson. He's playing pretty well. So it's just really awesome seeing what they do with the community. And, you know, I love to be a part of that with playing at the rinks, which the Ducks own. So sort of, there's like some weird stuff with that, but anyway, I just, yeah.
Well, because the reason I mention it too, right, is because it's not many teams do it. Not many teams get involved as much as like the Ducks do into the community. Like you now have the Blue Jackets have helped renovate outdoor rink that Nasher plays on, right? That's got the Columbus Blue Jackets logo in the middle of it. The New York Rangers just redid a New York City Roller Hockey League's outdoor rink, and that one's sick as hell, right? And so it's with the amount of young players that play roller hockey that are coming into the pro scene, I think we will eventually start seeing, a change, but it's taken way too long, where you have like Pat Maroon who plays in the pro divisions, right? I hopefully eventually want to see Bedard. Maybe his contract gets changed a little bit, because I think he's got a clause on there. That's probably why he's not doing it. But then again, he's playing.
That'll happen like maybe in 5 years or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's playing in the NSIHL. So it's like, what is your clause here? So, but yeah, I mean, I want to see more outreach from these pro teams, because as much as we're sitting there saying like we need to make hockey cheaper, but we also need to get our NHL teams to back, sure, they have junior ice hockey teams. That's great and all. But like you need to do a little more for your community, right? Like
some
Ducks,
people like roller.
Yeah. And the Ducks do a great job with it. Like, it's not even roller hockey. It's street hockey, right? And it's like something like that, just to get kids involved in hockey, you need to start small, right?
Yeah.
Something super, super not expensive, even if it's just like, hey, come show up, right? And we're going to do all this stuff. We're going to pay, we're going to give you food. We're going to, and it's great because you're going to get kids involved and they're like, boom, they're hooked.
Yep.
Like you said, your kids didn't win a game, but they're like, oh, we loved it.
They asked at the beginning, who here has never played hockey or who has never been to like a hockey event? 90% of the hands went up. It was like 90, and this is like there's 200 plus, 300 people at this event.
Wow.
Like little stuff like that, like for the sake of growing the game, and it's like good for business too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like those guys are going to show up. They had like a deal on like joining the Ducks club, like the Ducks Kids Club. It was like $20. You get the whole year, joining the Ducks Kids Club. And so it's like, it's also good for business. Like people are now going to want to start going to more hockey games and getting kids into hockey and getting kids to be junior Ducks for the ice team. Like you said, like transitioning them, from the street hockey to roller hockey, to ice hockey, to, seeing where that goes. So yeah, I completely agree. Roller hockey also has I feel like it has a lot it needs to do as well.
Yeah. To
kind of like get to the level of like being kind of recognized more as like a sport. I don't know.
Let's get into that.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is I think
I'm getting a little hungry, but maybe this. I hope I don't get too hangry on this conversation.
But at the same time,
I'd love to get into it.
I think the one thing that needs to happen is just, more roller content, right? And we're starting to see it more, right? And it's not just you and it's not just us kind of doing our podcast, stuff like that, but like the big three throwing out content, right? And doing a little more on social media than just kind of posting winners and stuff like that. We're seeing it.
Like what Narch is doing.
Yeah.
I love what Narch does with like the highlight reel stuff. I love it. Like that's I think Darren Goodwin does such a wonderful job, like really focusing on getting content out there, and it's fantastic. But I also think that there needs to be, it needs to be almost spoon fed to people, where it's like I, as a fan, as someone who's involved, as someone who's like, I'm looking forward to seeing the pro games, and like I can't wait to see what happens, in the pro final. It's hard for me to figure out when I need to be able to like watch this, or like what I need to do, like or I have to go digging on the internet to see what the score of the like I have to go to the Narch website, and then I have to go to the little drop-in tab, and then I have to click like scores and stats, and then I have to like go click the pro division, and then I have like there's so many things that I have to do in order to just see like what the score of the Blades game was last night. So I think there needs to be more, and this can come from, this isn't just on, the tournaments. This could come from the teams too. Where the teams can also like be able to pump out a little bit more like content showing the scores of their games. And but I think there needs to be a little bit more like spoon fed to the people that are interested about this, of like, player interviews. You don't really see, player interviews. And I understand these guys aren't really getting paid. They just kind of want to go back to their locker room and go back to their families. But it's like a couple little player interviews to like hear people's takes on like on stuff that happened during the game, or making it funny even, or like little stuff like that. I think would go so far with helping roller hockey kind of build itself up.
And I think like you look at it too, right? You're talking about like keeping people in the know, even something, and
engaged.
I think engaged, right? And I think even just like you want to show your best, right? So obviously the pro scene is always like their baby, right? Everyone wants to know what's going on there, but like you said, you have to go so deep into the website to figure out what the scores are. As something as simple as like, okay, let's as tournament directors, and they know how to use social media. They've made stuff, right? It's like some of them even have media guys. It's like, why don't you just create templates for each game, and then every time someone scores, you update it and then put who scored on it. Like you're already running. Most of them are running live streams now, right? And so like something like that to just be like, oh shit, they just posted their story, and oh wow, Pam was up 1-0, right? And something as simple as that.
Yeah, and I think the live streams obviously need to stay too, for people who like are like Tours does a good job at that. Narch does it as well. I know it's a little tough in Irvine. Just to get the whole live stream going. Like the internet is kind of like, I don't know, it's just weird. But Tours does a really good job. I last summer, so I run a summer camp at the school I work at too, and last summer. There were some pro games going on. I just threw it on the projector. We were like we were doing crafts, and I just threw it on the projector, like the Tours games, the Palma Pro Invitational that was going on. And I was like, guys, I play with this guy. Like I was like pointing to him. I was like, I played with this guy before, and they were kind of like, huh? But yeah, I think we just gotta like shove it in people's faces and make it so obvious, like, hey, like roller hockey's here, it's fun, like your kids are gonna love it, like once people get kind of the ball rolling, and like I said, like really highlighting these players and really getting these players kind of names, like having them do interviews and having them talk about things that are going on. And I've seen it from time to time, like I have seen it, like giving credit where credit's due. Like I feel like a lot of these tournaments do a really good job, but also on the team level too, I think they can, take it to the next level. So that would be one thing that I think could really help grow roller hockey and make it just more accessible as far as like content and media is concerned. So.
No, I agree. And I mean, everything, and most kids are on social media too, right? So it's like, it's gotta be fed through there.
Oh,
they're
One more thing. I think like TikTok trends. Okay, so my Instagram is kind of where roller hockey's at.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you guys run the podcast page for no offsides. You guys see kind of Instagram's kind of where it's all at.
Yeah.
But my TikTok page has over double the followers that I have on my Instagram page, because there's just such a there's more viewability. Like people are just scrolling through this stuff and they see something different pop up, and it's like people who don't play hockey, it's people who do play hockey. It's like that TikTok is like, I don't know if it's getting banned or whatever is happening with that, but like TikTok, like capitalizing on TikTok trends and things that are really funny. Like you see all these, like the NHL do it, and like you see MLB do it, and like NFL, like you see kind of them kind of do it. And I'm not saying we're ever going to be that as roller hockey. We're never going to be that. But there is a way to kind of like get along with those trends and really get it popular with the kids to kind of introduce roller hockey. And that's really what I want to do. I know it's kind of cringe seeing me dance, you know, out there. I feel super cringe when I'm doing that kind of stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, it's for the greater good of roller hockey. Like it's for the greater good of like, you know, what are we actually trying to do here? It's like, let's grow the game. Let's keep it up. So
it's not as cringy as the people who like just randomly just start breaking down a dance right in the middle of a crowd or on like a carousel of like baggage claim or something like that, right? So you know, it's not that cringy. It's more comical than anything. But then it's just like because who are you annoying when you're doing it, right? You're not really annoying anyone.
Exactly.
Because if the person watching you doesn't like your content, they can just scroll again.
Yeah. And so, the thing is, rollers like already. Like flashiness is kind of built into it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at our jerseys. Everybody wants to see the sick stuff. Take up the notch on the sellies. Let's hit TikTok dances for the sellies.
I agree.
Oh man, talk about sellies. What, Justin? You remember the selly in one of the games?
Yeah.
So someone over the weekend scored a goal, and the other team, like beforehand, just scored shortly before them. You know, they got all loud and wooed and was obnoxious. This team scored. They stopped. Everyone on the line stood on as like spectators, and the guy turned his stick upside down and did like a tee off in golf. Never seen it before.
Love it.
I like that. Yeah, exactly. A couple of golf.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah.
Something else that. Oh, go ahead, Parker.
I was just gonna say, there's this guy on Instagram that I saw. He plays ice hockey. I don't know what level he plays at. But he won the shootout, and then you guys probably saw this. And then he started bench pressing the goal.
Yeah,
like he brought down the goal. Like, dude, man, goalie sellies like that. Like, I love it. I love it. I want more of that. But also, like,
agreed.
It is a competitive sport. You know, you don't want to kind of like shove it in the face. There's like a fine line. You know, there's a fine line here. You got to kind of toe. So I did the sketch. I don't know if you guys watch sketch at all. The Tuesday. He was doing like the dog crawl, and then he was lifting his leg, like whenever he got like a touchdown. I did that in one of my games on one of the videos. And just, again, it was like one of those videos that I was like, man, this one's going to blow up. Like, where do you see like a goalie kind of, you know, pissing on the goalpost marking his territory? And again, like it didn't, you know, pop off the way I thought it would. So it's just trial and error with all that stuff. Not yet. Yes.
I'd say keep it up.
I like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm loving it. So
you guys, on Hockey Night Insider, you guys interviewed Aiden Schwetz.
Yes.
We talked to him, and they do something that I think is really good for growing roller, which is they do the roller team versus the ice team on roller.
Yes.
And that's something I'd like to see is bring some of these ice guys, take like a roller all-star team, take a ice all-star team, and play a roller game. I want to see more of that.
That would be so much fun. I think Eton is another guy who's like he like calls the Dangle Dojo like an off ice training facility, where it's like, guys, it's one and the same. Like we're doing the same stuff here. Like it's the same skills. It's not, this isn't making your game worse. I don't even know where that came from. What a ridiculous statement. Whoever came up with it hurts your ice game is insane. That is ridiculous. Right. Like look at Bedard, you know, like look at, you know, if you're good, you're good. It's going to work either way. You're going to get the feel of the ground in a couple, in an hour. You're going to be right back to where you left off. So, yeah, man, I just creative ideas, like creative, fun ideas, I think are really going to, help it, and just having fun. Let's have fun with it and keep things rolling. So
now,
if there was an all-star game, who do you think would be a good starting lineup out of pro ice guys to play against some pro roller guys?
Pro ice guys lineup.
Yeah.
First off, I think any pro ice guys would dominate. Like they would destroy. Just look at Pat Maroon. Dude, Pat Maroon, every I watched him in the tours, the Palma Invitational last year. He dominated. Like he was a force out there, and he's not a force out there on the NHL. But I mean, top guys, it would be insane to see McDavid, come out there and just destroy. They would have to get used to it. It's definitely
stopping.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's the same skills, but it is different. Obviously Bedard would be incredible to see. I would like to see a guy like, I'm a Ducks guy. So Zegras, like seeing Zegras go out there and get creative with it, pass it over the net or do whatever he does. So stuff like that. Yeah. That would be totally fun to see.
Hell yeah.
And
that'd be my three in the front. Defense, who cares?
And I think you'd get more buy-in of doing like getting some sort of charitable roller hockey, right? Through getting these younger guys coming into NHL over the older guys, right? Because there's not many, even the ones that have retired and moved on. Like there's only maybe a handful that have played Narch tours or state wars before they went into the NHL, right? So I think these younger guys probably do some sort of off ice training with skates. So I think the younger guys would probably be your pick on getting something to be able to do something like that.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, talk about younger guys, and you mentioned earlier, I mean, what is your timeline for getting Terrapins youth up?
So we've had like a couple opportunities to work with some local ice teams. Unfortunately, like these ice schedules are just so rigorous. It's like year round now. Like, once fall hockey stops, spring hockey starts up again, and like they're constantly playing. And then they got, middle school that they're playing or high school that they're playing with. So it's like when they're really in the ice, like hockey, they're in ice hockey, and it's hard to kind of get them to play. So we've had a couple opportunities that we're like still in talks with of getting some local ice hockey teams to, play roller with us, with some of their coaches too, who coach them playing ice. Cause they coach, they play with us in roller, but they coach ice for these guys. So they kind of want to they want to show them how fun roller hockey is. Yeah. But my guess is probably next year. We'll start doing some skates and just kind of getting the feel of it. I'm coaching some kids at goalie right now that I know are extremely interested in starting something like this up. But it is, I have a full-time job, and looking at kind of like making this happen it's going to be a lot harder than what I would really like it to be. I'm really looking to get people who are interested in, doing something like that to come in. That's kind of more the angle that I would take instead of kind of taking it all on myself. I don't think I'm just have the time for that right now. But it is the goal. Like that definitely is the goal of getting kids involved and really growing that program out. So I'd say within the next year, we'll start seeing some youth teams for the Terrapins.
I think you'll do it for sure, because I saw your post 1 year ago. I wanted a women's team, and then they went and won platinum.
Funny story about the women's team is I
second place.
Yeah. Second place platinum. I'll take a little win. Yeah. You can throw that in there. And like we beat some really good teams too. Like we beat like the women's team, ended up platinum. We lost to Rinkster, the factory team, which is basically like Team USA. Like a lot of girls on that team play Team USA. So I'm really hoping that we can get the nod to go into the pro scene for finals this year and make some, really good roster changes that can kind of prove that we belong there. So I had a dream. I had a literal dream a year ago. We had a Terrapins women's team, and it was like a camouflage. It was all of our colors. It was like a camouflage jersey with like our logo on it, just like this right on the center. And it was like, we won some big tournament. And I was like, I like woke up and I was like, whoa, like I want to get a women's team going. And like I had O'Hara Shipe, who AK Roller Goalie on Instagram. She's you guys should get her on. She's
scheduled. She's scheduled.
Perfect. She's an absolute riot. She's incredible. Her and I have been going back. We met at a tournament. We've been going back and forth and just kind of talking with each other. And she loved our brand. Like, she loved our logo. She loved our videos. And she's like, I want to play with you. And I was like, well, it would be a dream, but like, I don't know the first thing about getting like a women's team together. And then Fox J, another girl who was like top scorer in the gold division last year for women. She hit me up and she's like, hey, I want to play with the Terrapins too. And it was like two completely like isolated things. And I was like, all right, like, let's get us three together in this group chat and let's see if we can like make something happen. And like within the next couple months, we had a full roster for a women's team. And it was just like, it happened so naturally. And it was just a literal dream come true. So hopefully that same kind of thing happens with the youth team. So
now, do you think that, I think so as well. But do you think, like, are you pulling, I'm just curious now, right? Are you pulling women from other teams to the Terrapins, or are you finding like diamonds in the rough when you're like, this girl has a great opportunity? Like, if we are able to get her on our team, it just makes us so much better that maybe she didn't get an opportunity elsewhere.
It's mostly girls from other teams.
Okay.
It's like I've learned through roller hockey, like there's no loyalty in roller hockey. I've kind of come to discover, like, it's very like people will, I got one of my best friends, Robert. He's a defenseman on our team. He's playing with the OC Blades in a tournament in like the next couple weeks. And it's like, I'm totally like, yeah, it's all good. Like, it's very like, O'Hara played with, the Rose Bowl hockey, and she's played with a ton of different teams. So, I feel, especially in the women's side of things too, it's like women are just trying to find a place to play.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have a lot of opportunities to play, especially at a higher level. So it's like, they're just wanting to get like on a team. And so I think that, it's definitely picked apart from a bunch of other teams. Sometimes they don't play tournaments. Sometimes they do. If they don't play a tournament, these girls still want to play. So, I'm grateful that we're able to just offer one more place for them to want to play. Sure. I don't ever, think like I own them, and I don't think a lot of other teams feel that way in roller hockey. It's kind of like, we're just kind of all here to provide a space to play for other people. If they go to another team, they go to another team. It's all good. So that's always been my mindset on it. I feel like a lot of other people are that same way, but yeah, we're currently working on a couple diamonds in the rough. Like we have a couple people, that we're like looking at, hoping that they turn into something. There's a shout out to the women's roller hockey. They're having a draft tournament in Irvine, I think at the end of this month. I'm going to be there just to kind of like keep my eyes and see if there's anyone
scout a little bit.
O'Hara's going to be there. Fox will be there as well. We'll talk and kind of see, who do we want to kind of pick up here? And is there anyone that you got your eye on? So that's going to be an awesome event. Women's roller hockey in Irvine. They're doing a draft league. I believe Champion's sponsoring one of the teams as well, which is pretty cool.
It's actually it's O'Hara's team.
That's right. Yeah. So that'll be a whole lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that and checking that out. Maybe we'll find some diamonds in the rough there.
Oh, you will.
Yeah.
This feels like a good time to plug the Women's College Roller Initiative.
Which is
also something that a gentleman that you had on the show, Jake Kapitsky, is putting together, trying to raise money for college scholarships for women.
That's right.
So,
and so,
dude,
check that out.
Yeah. I mean, is it now? I guess you mentioned U.S. Roller Cup and Jake Kapitsky. I mean, are the Terrapins going to play in USRC tournament?
Ooh, in Irvine.
The one in Irvine. You know,
Yeah.
what's funny is I got a text about that today from one of our guys. He said, "So we playing in this or what?" And I texted him back. I'm like, "So I'm probably going to be at the Wish Cup like the week after or before. I don't know when it is. It was either the week after or before." And a lot of our guys have families and and like they're kind of like, I'm lucky if I get them just to like the Narch events, but I'll send a text out. I'll send a text out and we'll see if there's some interest. And if there's some interest, I would love to be at the Irvine event. When I saw that come up, I was like, interesting. And they're doing like a big old prize pool too for the pro, not that we're in the pro, level yet, but that was really cool to see as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes. Is that next month?
That is June 14 and 16.
So the week after the Wish Cup.
Yep.
So okay, got it. We'll see. I'll send a text out. We'll see if we can get something going for that.
And if you read USRC's post carefully, there is definitely a hint in there on one of the teams playing in the pro division.
Okay, I will take a look at that.
A little cipher.
Yeah, there's a little cipher.
I love it. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's great to talk about SoCal hockey and, kind of get more people from California to come on our show. We always,
appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm from the Northeast. We've talked about with a bunch of people from up there, and that we've been trying to branch out to go west and kind of get some people. If you know of any, especially Terrapins players, women's players, we definitely want to start loading up on our shows with women roller players because we want to definitely hit, that aspect of the roller scene quite directly and, get that viewpoint for our viewers. But yeah, I mean, we definitely appreciate you being on with us.
Absolutely. It was so much fun. I feel I need some water. I feel like I've just yapped my way through this whole entire interview, but thank you guys for just being a place that I can come and just, I feel like I'm home, being able to just talk roller hockey and talk hockey. And, I love this game and just want to see it grow. And I so appreciate you guys asking me to come on. It's been a blast.
Yeah. Anything you want to plug?
Yes, there is actually. So as you guys saw, our new Terrapins, this is from the bootleg collection right here. This is our slow and steady Terrapins shirt. You can get this on, which this has never been revealed publicly, terrapinshockey.com. We have created a website. It's still under construction a little bit, but if you wanted to buy our first drop, this is our first drop of 3. And if you think about bootleg shirts, you'll really love the next 2 that are going to be coming out. I think you can kind of maybe think where we're headed with the bootleg collection. And you guys can get these out terrapinshockey.com. And really great material. Like it's like a street fit shirt hanging over the shoulder, feels really good, nice and thick, doesn't get shrunked up all in the it's not a cheap shirt. It's a nice shirt. And I wanted to make sure that, when we came out with some merch that it was nice. So if anyone wants to, rep some Terrapins, terrapinshockey.com. So that is my plug.
and we'll throw that link in the descriptor down below. If you're watching,
that would be awesome. I'm actually going to post this on Instagram tomorrow. So I haven't even released this at all yet. So
nice.
This is the early info.
Yes.
Sweet. Well, we appreciate you being on. If you're watching, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. If you're forechecking roller hockey, don't let up because there's no offsides in roller hockey. I'm Dan Dean.
I'm Justin Wood.
Parker, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, guys. Take care.
See you, everybody.
No offside.